And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, August 3rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Friday morning, we're glad to have you with us. And, of course, on Friday mornings, we're on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. We have Jackie and Gregory today, who's going to be here to do the commercial, to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust and what she does. Assistant Vice President, Loan Officer. Jackie, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to see you today, and this is Friday, so you can you wear sort of your choosing at the bank today?
We can wear choosing today. We're sporting our favorite team today on Friday.
Well, you've got something to brag about a little bit this morning. Your UT Vols won their game last night.
They did. They played well.
And was it 38 to something?
38-6, I believe.
Yeah. I saw the final score. I saw a little bit of it, but not that much. I was on another assignment, let's say, but trying to keep up a little bit, see how it was going. But they were expecting to win, and you'd have been really disappointed had they not, no doubt.
I would have, yes.
Well, how long have you been at Wilson Bank?
I've been at Wilson Bank 13 years.
13 years. Did you start out as a teller, maybe?
I did.
Yeah, and
Started
worked your way up.
Worked my way up, yes, sir.
Well, there's one thing I think we can say for Wilson Bank, that the opportunity is there for somebody who wants to. There are a lot of career people at Wilson Bank and Trust, people like you who you've just 13 years, but there's some that's been there since 1987, a few.
Correct.
But being a loan officer, I guess you want to talk about loans a little bit this morning.
I do. I want to remind our listeners, some may know, some may not, but we offer a one-time construction to permanent financing product. We'll do a construction loan for 12 months, and then it rolls right into principal and interest payments for the permanent financing, and no other closings involved.
That must make it very easy and attractive to people.
Very. Yes, sir.
And, of course, rates on loans, some of it depends on your credit and how good your credit is and a few things like that, but for the most part, money's probably never been much cheaper to borrow than right now.
Exactly. Rates have held stable for some time, and they're still low, and it's a good time to borrow.
Well, are you a lot of people still building? We know people are moving in. Well, I know too. There's a lot of building going on, homes and residential dwellings. Some of them are not just individuals doing that, but you make all these kind of loans?
I do, yes, sir. We have other loans, of course, commercial real estate, home equity lines of credit, vehicle loans, whatever you need, we can service you.
Well, what about refinancing? You would think that everybody and his brother would have refinanced by now, but I hear that still occurs from time to time.
It does still occur from time to time, yes, sir, because rates are low, and they want to get in and get a locked rate.
Well, do some people just put it off or just don't get around to it? Is that the reason? Or?
I suppose, some people maybe doesn't inquire about, what they can possibly do. But again, we have great rates and great products for them.
Well, is there some rule of thumb, perhaps, if somebody has not refinanced and they've got a pretty good rate and have had, but yet is there something to go by here? Say, well, if so and so is this, then you ought to come and see us.
Oh, absolutely. If they contact us, we will look at what rate they currently have, try to put them in for the best fit, and calculate what's best for them.
Well, in these situations, I've heard a lot of times people will get even a lower monthly payment, but maybe not as many years attached to it as what they currently
Exactly.
have. So it's a win-win thing, isn't it?
It is a win-win situation.
Yeah. Well, is that mostly what you do now, make loans?
I make loans.
And you're at the main office?
I'm at the main office here
West Main Street.
West Main Street.
Well, anything else you might want to mention this morning?
I would just like to tell our listeners to please come to Wilson Bank and Trust. We are a relationship bank. We are Middle Tennessee's community bank, and we will take care of you.
Well, if you need a loan, Jackie Ann Gregory is one of the people you might want to see. And you've had 13 years. Not all of it has been making loans, but you've been there long enough to establish a clientele. I guess you've got people who depend on you when they need to borrow money.
I do.
And you'd like for that to grow a little bit.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it's been nice to see you this morning, and glad that you can talk about a Vol victory last night and wear your UT orange today.
It's going to be a good day.
Orange and white. All right. Jackie Ann Gregory, Assistant Vice President, Loan Officer for Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. Thank you much. Okay, we're approaching 10 minutes after the hour, and I want to welcome Scott Jasper this morning, who is my guest. And Scott, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Now, we could continue to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust for a minute here. You've probably been there longer than Jackie has.
I have been there about going on 24 years. So come October, so time has flown.
I asked her if she started out. You didn't start out as a teller, did you?
I actually started in collections.
Collections.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of my prior life where I came from. That's what I was doing, and still doing some lending, but started in the collections and then kind of worked my way through the progress.
Right. Well, you're here for another reason this morning, but you are going to work at Wilson Bank today.
I am.
So we can talk about your Kentucky Blue this morning.
Oh, yeah. So today's College Colors Day, and so we decided to, hey, let's show our support. So we've got many fans represented or schools represented, so I'm sure there might be some, I know for the Tennessee people, and I get to put some blue in there. There'll probably be some Alabama. I know that really upsets the UT folk. They don't give me much grief, so we just kind of, weather through it. But it's a good day to be able, because football's back and everybody's excited.
Right. Well, you are here to talk about Sherry's Run, and you've done this for several years.
Yep.
Prior to the run, you come here and tell us about what it's going to be like the next day, which when is it?
It's next Saturday.
A week
next Saturday. Yep, a week from. So I'll be here next Friday also to talk about it. But it's next Saturday, the 11th.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I was kind of thinking, well, are we?
We always kind of get to come out and just kind of talk about kind of some of the things, because it's been since 2019. Last year was a virtual option, so kind of get back in the groove of things and just kind of talk about how the event will go. So we're excited about that, to be able to get to do an in-person event this year. So that's just what we're going to talk about today.
I had Corey Clark last week, who is the director, and Alicia Eakes. And one of the things, Alicia has a lot to do with helping the actual dispersing of the money that Sherry's Run has raised in Sherry's Hope now. And one of the things she said right at the end was that no one had ever been turned down that had asked for help. And I think that is remarkable. I did not know that. And that a lot of people have been helped since the proceeds from Sherry's Run went from, it was, I think, at one time maybe to the American Cancer Society, which is a good thing, but it was decided to keep the funds here and help people who are in between the rock and the hard place, especially financially, because of cancer.
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal when we started out. We've told that story since 2004 of where we started and where it would end up being, and then as it's grown and just knowing the needs that were needed in our community, to say, how do we take this and become a grassroots, helping in our communities that we're involved in, and so that's where it, that's where it's gotten to today, and so. I was telling some folks yesterday, the stories that could be told since 2004 of folks that we've been able to help, and sometimes it's just minor things, and people think that, of course, cancer is such an ugly word and the things that happen, and sometimes it's just the minor things that we've been able to help with when, we've told the stories of when you can help somebody to go buy a prescription or buy some food. or gas just to get. I mean, it's incremental. So all those things that we get that are asked of us to help with, it's good to know that folks have stepped up and helped support that, so we can help people, and that's what it's
And
about.
there really are a lot of ways to give, to participate in Sherry's Hope, Sherry's Run. I mean, just a contribution is okay, but you can, I think you have sleep insurance.
Oh, yeah. So,
you
I mean,
can get out
that's,
and run.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, that's where, we talked a little bit about, prior to last year, why we switched from Sherry's Run to Sherry's Hope, because Sherry's Hope is the 365 days, a year that we're helping people. That's the overall arching. Sherry's Run is our fundraiser, is our biggest fundraiser that we do. We also have Mardi Gras at the mill and some things that other things that happen outside of that help funnel into Sherry's Hope. So Sherry's Run is our big event, and so that's what we talk about today, of where you can come be a part and run in it, put a team together, walk it, crawl it, push a stroller. And then if you've got something else going on, and we understand with the environment that we're in right now, some folks do want to be out there. Some folks that are still, want to be safe in that. That's why we have that virtual sleep-in option. Hey, we'll send you a shirt, but just that, even that amount of money is going to go help folks. And so we were blessed last year in a virtual event, to be able to take in the funds that we did to be able to help. And so this year will be even better with the, showing up in person.
Well, I don't know how much it costs to put Sherry's Run, and I'm sure there's a little money involved in that, but you have an awful lot of volunteers. There are a lot of people who volunteer their time and talent, and I would think that in itself keeps the cost down quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have over 100 volunteers. And so, one of the big things is the community effort that gets behind that, because we do have folks that are familiar with the Run and Sherry's Hope that come and do that. But, the support that we get from like Cumberland University, the baseball team, the volleyball teams, basketball teams, that group has always been instrumental in coming and helping us. Without them, the Run doesn't happen. And so that's great. Lebanon High School, the basketball team comes out, helps with parking. So it's just reaching out and touching these different organizations that come and help, because, without volunteers, you don't put this on.
We need to go to a break. We'll just in a second. But one of the things, it's really a short, we talk about it a lot. We probably talk about it almost as long as it takes place. It's a fairly short window of time.
Yeah, we start getting there really early, I do, but really kind of the function starts at 6, and by 11 o'clock, it's like, okay, it's what just happened here, because they're cleaned up and ready to go, and we're ready for the next one.
All right, Scott Jasper is my guest. We're talking about Sherry's Run, Sherry's Hope, and we hope to see you on the other side of this break. So stay with us here on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And to 717, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, they've got a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic flow still looks good right now as we check it out live here. I-40 at Donaldson Pike. All that traffic coming in from Mount Julia, in from Wilson County. 24 West is starting to build pretty good up by Harding Place. Just give yourself extra time. We've seen a ton of radar out here. They're working an accident at Campbell Road at Graycroft. That's going to be in Madison. Hey, Ripley's Aquarium, Sleep with the Sharks Pirate Edition is coming up October 23rd. Check it out at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive, right behind Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and see for yourself. You should move here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Bryan. Join me, Bob Lee, Terry Stafford, and Joe Gardner as we bring you Lebanon High football live every Friday night right here on WANT and WCOR throughout this 2021 season. Lebanon visits region opponent Cookeville Friday, September 3rd. Don't forget Blue Devil football on WANT WCOR Lebanon.
And we continue here on a Friday morning. My guest is Scott Jasper. We're talking Sherry's Hope, Sherry's Run, and now you're here a week early next Saturday, which will be the 11th. Right. That is the date for this. And you were saying earlier you're going to get there at what time? 5 o'clock?
Well, I usually get there about 4 because there's a lot of stuff that has to get ready for the day.
Well, let me point out, you're a member of the Sherry's Hope Executive Board.
Right.
And you have, how many are on that board?
There's 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. There's 4 of us, myself, Jane Hay, Kevin Bass, and Scotty Ricketts. And so that makes up our executive board. And then you had Corey and Alyssa out here the other day, and then Katie Henson, who works in our marketing. So that's kind of our core group. Our executive board is a volunteer group. It has been ever since we started back in 2004. And so that's been instrumental to the time that's put in to keep the organization growing. And Corey and Alyssa and Katie do all the day-to-day work and do a tremendous job in being able to talk about Sherry's Hope, help with our patients, and it's just a growing thing that continues to have, because I think we all have had friends, neighbors, family members that are affected by cancer in some form or fashion. And to be able to navigate that and help, I mean, it's just been huge. And I think that's the thing is one of these days, we pray that we'll find that cure for it. But until that day, I think everybody knows we just keep fighting the fight. And I think that's what'll happen next Saturday when you see all those teams. And that's always the thing that I love to do is after they all get down and you can stand back there at the corner of Castle Heights and West Main and look back toward the square and just see all these teams that are walking for the different people that have been affected by cancer. I mean, it just hits your feels, as they say.
And we might talk a little bit about a team. It's not too late to get.
Oh no, that's one thing I'm here to talk about today. Is there's still time to sign up. Like I said, whether you want to run, walk, form a team. Still time to do that. You can go out to sherrysrun.org and sign up to do that. Registration's there. We will also have our pickup will be next Thursday and Friday, where you can come by, pick up your shirt if you've registered, or if you're going to run and get chip timed, you can come pick up your chip. So that'll be Thursday and Friday next week, and then we'll run Saturday morning at 8 o'clock.
Now, where you pick that up?
So that'll be over on the west lawn right there across from the bank right there. Big white tent will be set up, and so they'll start doing that on Tuesday to get all of our tents set up. And so we always have our silent auction tent that'll be there. So we're very excited about the things that'll be under there this year. So
It amazes me sometimes when I think about this and the different elements, I guess we could say, that you have come up with. When Gary Whitaker came up with this idea to remember his wife, to honor her, remember her because of what had happened here. This was, I don't think he ever envisioned anything like this, just a way to remember her and maybe raise a little money, but it wasn't even designed to be a fundraiser, as I understand it. But it has turned into a great one, and you continue to come up with different ways to participate and also to contribute.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's just like anything. You've got to evolve with the different things, because there's so many charities out there that you can give to, and everybody's got their special charities that they want to do. And I think that's the thing is, back in 2004, now 17 years later, and it was our thoughts of, hey, here was a way that we could kind of give back. But then once we started finding, like we said, the folks that we knew personally that were affected by it, and then you started hearing the stories, and now you can reach out and touch others. That's what's been, like I said, that's what's been the greatest piece of this, is to be able to continue to help our friends and neighbors around us instead of just giving it in one lump. I mean, you touch different people.
Well, it's not just a Wilson Bank thing, but I mean, Gary was with Wilson Bank.
Right.
You are, others are his friends there who kind of jumped on board, you especially, and then you do use the West Lawn. I love that, West, the West
That's
Lawn.
been coined, and that's been the great thing, and it is Sherry's Hope is its own entity. The bank has been very gracious to support us, to allow Gary and myself to be with this organization. But then once we started, that's why we went outside of that. Folks that come and volunteer with it, folks that were friends of Gary and Sherry, friends of mine, and we all had our stories. And so, I think about this year, one of our in memory of this year is Wendy Warren. Wendy was very active, actually worked with me and Gary at the bank, and so she became involved in that and, sadly passed away due to cancer. And we are in memory of her this year. We're kind of pulling that back from 2019 because we didn't get to do everything, so herself will be in memory of this year. And Scott Harris did a picture this year, a painting that we will be auctioning off in our silent auction tent. So there's things that kind of come back around that do that, and so
well, I remember her, and just a really fine person, and this just
it's just those things that, like I said, people that have touched our lives and have touched the organization. And that's the thing is, a lot of these folks that we find that we're able to talk with in memory and honor of have somehow touched our organization, either by volunteering, monetary donations, things of that nature. So it's just huge. And so
where I was headed with this was other banks aren't excluded. I don't know how much they may participate, but if they want to have a team, that's fine.
Well, hey, I've always said I'll take your money. I'll take your money. No, we're not excluding anyone. I mean, anybody can jump in there, and I think that's the thing is because we're going to take your money and we're going to put it to use for cancer. So the other big thing I want to talk about, Coleman, is just because we did have a year removed from that. The big thing is when you put on this size event in that shorter period of time, is just the logistics that goes with that. And so there's a lot of roads that have to be blocked off that morning when you've got 3,000 people headed down West Main. And so, there will be some road closures that morning starting, somewhere around 6:30. Then everything will close down usually around 7:15, especially around that Castle Heights, West Main Street area. And so kudos to the Lebanon Police Department and their group for coming out and helping us do this. Lebanon Fire comes and uses the fire truck for our starting line. So again, it's just the organizations that come together to put this. And so we've put some ads on social media. We've put ads in the local papers. So I just want everybody to be aware next Saturday, it'll be a little congested, but we do a great job of handling that and making sure everybody can get to and fro safely. So just be on the lookout for that as well.
And you're talking about at the most, I guess, 6 hours of inconvenience for a few people in that.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like I said, the run's at 8, and we're normally finishing up by 9:30. It's just after. It's just usually after that, by the time everybody's got to go to their car and you've got to take up all these barriers that we put out. It takes a little time, but like I said, you start that early, and by 11 o'clock, you're looking around thinking, was there an event here today? And again, it's true volunteer work that helps do that.
All right. Anybody, you mentioned the website, and I guess most of the information we've even talked about and anything most people would need to know, either how to contribute or to form a team or be a part of this, is right there.
Yep, that's at sherrysrun.org.
Sherrysrun.org.
And you can go out there and sign up, get all the information. And also we talked a little bit about the silent auction things that we're doing. There's still opportunity if you would have something that from your business or whatever that you would like to donate for that silent auction. We're still taking those. You can contact the Sherry's Hope office at 615-925-2592 or email at info@sherryshope.org. So again, we're a week out, but still able to take registrations and take silent auction items if you want to do that.
I've got to brag on you a little here. I mean, you're not you do have a lot of volunteers, but I mean the main thrust here is a small group of people. You're very well organized. You do a lot with a little, I think, and I think that's true throughout the year. You have a very small staff there, but you're able to help a lot of people over a year's time.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is, and cancer, it kind of, we see cycles. Sometimes, we might go a month and we only may have 2 patients, but the next month we may get 20 requests. I mean, and we don't know why that is. I mean, cancer just, it happens at inopportune times. And so, but that's the thing is about being that's the thing about Sherry's Hope is being that it's not just one weekend a year. It's 365 days a year that some people are being touched that are calling and doing that. And so that's the thing. And so it's we've also got to have fundraisers. Yes, this is our big one, but we have to have others throughout the year to support that. That's why you have things like Mardi Gras. And then like today, you know, I was just looking through it at our social media post today, and we've got another bake sale. You know, who doesn't like to have sweets? So Miss Lunita Sampson, who's been a strong supporter of the run from the get-go, is having a bake sale at the main office there at 623 West Main Street today. So when you talk about strawberry cupcakes, red velvet cupcakes, I mean, who doesn't want a sweet? So come on by, because normally that stuff sells out. It starts at 8, but last year, or 2 years ago, I mean, that thing sold out in about 45 minutes. And so we had a big cake auction at the bank yesterday. So, you know, we're continuing to raise those funds. And so, of course, the next weekend's our big one. So,
yeah. All right, well, we're in our last minute here. In fact, got about 45 seconds left. But, Scott, I think you've really covered it well this morning. It's good to see you. Glad that everything is going well. And Sherry's Run, sponsored and put on by Sherry's Hope, next Saturday. And you're here today reminding everybody it's not too late to participate. You can still form a team. You can run. You can do it all. And go to sherrysrun.org or sherryshope.org. Either one's probably will transfer you from one to the other.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for the good job you're doing helping people, and that's what it's all about.
Thank you, Coleman. Thanks for supporting us.
Scott Jasper, and that is it for part one. Stay with us for more here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:29, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, that regular oil change, $24.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, $16.73. West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's just now starting to get a little bit heavy now on 65 at Trinity Lane. A steady flow of traffic continues down I-42 Mount Julia coming in from Dixon County. 3800 block at Dickerson Pike. There's just been a crash at that location, and also Lebanon Pike at Spence Lane was blocked up pretty good. Ashland City Highway at Clintondale, that may have some injuries over in Bordeaux. Gatlinburg Wine Cellars, home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check out GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Do you really want to know how much your house is worth, but you don't really know who to call?
We make it easy. Just give us your address and give us a few minutes to walk through your home, and we can give you a market value price.
There's no cost to you to find out. Call us today and just see if you really want to sell.
And like we say, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmenthaler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team, 443-3130.
The Titans try to win a second consecutive AFC South Division title. Every snap
gives Henry around right end to the 5, to the end zone.
Every first down, every touchdown.
Touchdown Titans!
It's all heard here.
Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Bates Ford, Steve Mall Plumbing, The Jewelers, and the City of Lebanon Gas in Tennessee. 811, call before you dig.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
Hey, Lebanon School is back in session, which means band practice, ball games, and homework. Come visit the newly remodeled restaurant at the Lebanon Country Club. Open to the public Tuesday through Sunday. Happy hour is Tuesday through Friday, 3 until 6 p.m. Follow The Edge Lebanon on Facebook and Instagram to see weekly specials and live music lineups. Check theedgelebanon.com to see their menu and their beautiful event space. The Edge is also hiring cooks and servers. Apply in person.
Hey, TP.
Yeah, JB?
You ready?
For Friday Night Lights, you better believe it. Join us on the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show every Friday night after the Lebanon High football game. We'll have all the scores for you and even post-game interviews with all of your Wilson County coaches.
Thank you to our sponsors, Designers Carpet, Fakes and Hooker, Lebanon Appliance, Palometto's Insurance, Sammy B's Restaurant, and Kenny Salas and the hometown team with Keller Williams Realty.
It's the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show with John Boyce and Trenton Perry, right here on WANT 98.9 FM.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Today's forecast calls for mostly sunny skies with highs in the mid-80s, so it'll be a great day to eat lunch outside. On Saturday, a few pop-up showers are possible for the second half of the day. Highs on Saturday reach the mid-80s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
Welcome to part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Friday morning. We're glad to see Friday arrive, getting ready for the Labor Day weekend and ready to talk with the C&D team at Exit Rocky Top Realty. 1330 West Main Street in Lebanon. Great people, great service. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. They're people you can trust. And this morning,
good morning.
We've got Miss Judy. We've got Medina. Y'all want to say good morning again?
Good morning.
In unison. Oh, are you looking forward to the Labor Day weekend?
Oh yeah. It'll be.
Well, are you gonna labor or are you gonna leisure?
I'm going to do both.
That's always.
We do both every day.
Yeah.
We have Labor Day every day.
Oh, well, I believe that. Knowing you, I don't know about the leisure part, but
we have
you're
to have
almost,
a little fun in between the labor.
Well, you're almost a workaholic, isn't she?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
She doesn't fall far from the tree.
Like mother, like daughter. Well, what you got for
Well,
us?
since you're talking about Labor Day, it's kind of the change of the season. You kind of think about, putting the pool equipment up and getting ready for the fall weather and the leaves and the winter. And so while you're doing that, you need to be thinking about what do you do around your house for the fall to get ready. And I'm talking to people that's not even selling their house, but mainly to people that are thinking about selling or people that's thinking about buying. And if you're thinking about buying a house, there's a few things you want to really make sure you cover with your agent in the contract. Because if it's not covered in the beginning, don't wait till the end of this and then all of a sudden come up with it and try to get it accomplished. Sometimes it won't work unless you got cooperative buyers and sellers. But if you're buying a house and you're going to be moving in the dead of winter and the day after you close, your heat goes off, you realize that nobody filled the propane tank up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have propane tanks buried in the backyard, so they're not visible, and you're not thinking about propane being full or empty. Now, some sellers have propane tanks that they come and fill up every so many months, and they check the volume to make sure it doesn't, run out. But if you're buying a home, seller might not tell you anything. They might think, hey, I'm not filling that up because I'm fixing to sell this house, and I'm going to get it all the way down to the bottom and I'm gone.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and all of a sudden you have no gas and no heat. And sometimes it takes the companies a couple, 3 days to get out there, especially when it gets really cold and everybody wants it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you want to look at in your contract to say, hey, I want the tank measured a couple of days before closing to see how much gas is in it. And ever how much is in it, I'm going to pay the seller for the gas that they have in it left at closing. And then if it's low, then you're going to make your arrangements to get it filled up. So you want to be thinking of that. And if you're the seller and you've got automatic, they go out there and they fill it up 2 days before closing, and you get the bill and you're like, oh man, they fill that up and I was fixing to sell this house, now I got to pay this.
Yeah.
Well, you want that in your contract for your agent. So as a seller, you want it in there. As a buyer, you want it in there. And you want it fixed so that what they do is they come out and measure it, and they charge you per gallon ever what you paid for it when you put it in there. And that way, nobody's making a profit out from it. Everybody's breaking even. And you just want that taken care of. And another thing on the propane tanks, when you list a house, you want to find out, does the owner of that house, do they own that tank, or are they renting it from a company? And if they're renting it, do you have to use that gas company to fill it up? So these are things, and a lot of people go, I don't know, it's under the ground. I don't know if it's mine or not. It was there when I came. So these are things that as agents and as buyers and sellers, we need to get to the bottom of way before closing.
Yeah.
And there's ways to find out who owns it and if it's got to be used, their particular gas or whatever. So those are things just to think about since it's getting wintertime.
All right. You always have some, but you've been there and done that.
That's right.
The experience is speaking.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've seen the owner wake up going, something's wrong with the heat. Guess what? You have no gas.
Yeah. Is it Medina's turn?
It's Medina's turn.
Medina, what do you got today?
Good morning, Coleman.
Good morning.
I'm going to talk to you about 2 lots that we have on Foresee Road, which is down Carthage Highway. You make a left onto Foresee Road, and they'll be on the left. But we have 2 separate lots. Each of the lots are listed at $279,900. One lot is 5.6 acres. The other lot is 5.77 acres. Both of them have natural gas at the road. Both of them are very close to the Cumberland River and boat docks, are minutes away. It's a great building lot. It's been perked for 4-bedroom perk. If somebody is looking for land to build or land just to have available and just to buy it and just sit on it, this is a beautiful piece of property down Foresee Road on Carthage Highway. So if you're interested in building or just buying a lot and sitting on it, give us a call and we'll be glad to tell you more about it or go out and walk it. But one is 5.6 acres and one is 5.77 acres.
All right. 2 great opportunities.
2 great opportunities. And, it's not right in the heart of Lebanon, but you're toward Carthage, but you're a little bit of way out. But it's a beautiful piece of property. And, if anybody else is looking to want to see what their property is worth, whether it be land, whether it be a house, whether it be a lot and a house, give us a call. We'll be glad to go over that with you to tell you what your house or lot would be worth and get it on the market and get the most money for you.
443-3130, and somebody answers that phone 24 hours a day.
That's it.
So you'll definitely get back to somebody. If they
Oh,
need
yes. Yeah, even on Labor Day.
All right.
We will get back to you.
All right. We hope y'all have a great weekend. See you next Friday. And as always,
don't make a move without us.
All right.
See you later.
All right. Miss Judy, Medina, C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. We're about 20 and a half before the hour. And from time to time, I like to have a member of the Wilson County Commission come and be with us. And I have my guest this morning, who is such. We have a lot going on the first 3 or 4 months of the year with the state legislature in session. But when that's over, I like to devote as much as I can once a month to having a member of the Wilson County Commission. And this morning, Mr. John Gentry joins us. He represents District 11. One of 25 Wilson County Commissioners. So, Mr. Gentry, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm delighted to have you here, and really, I guess this is the first time we've met, as far as I know. I know I saw you at the County Commission meeting and the others that were there that one particular night, but I appreciate you taking time to be with us this morning and like to find out a little bit about you. First of all, how long have you been a member of the Wilson County Commission?
I've been there 7 years and 1 more year until the election. And so we'll have been there 8 years after.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about you. Are you from Wilson County originally?
I'm not originally from Wilson County. I'm originally from Indiana. My father was from Tennessee. He grew up just north of Knoxville, he and his 3 brothers. And we used to come to Tennessee throughout our younger years to see my uncle down here.
Mm-hmm.
So we liked Tennessee a lot, the whole family, and my dad used to always come down and show us all around Tennessee.
Yeah.
Everywhere from Chattanooga to Oneida to you name it. So,
what kind of work have you done in your life?
Well, I went to school up in Indiana. I graduated from Ball State University, and I was in the Air Force ROTC program. And when I graduated, I joined the Air Force and became a pilot. I went to pilot training out in West Texas and Lubbock, Texas. Then from there, I moved around quite a bit, anywhere from Vietnam to northern Michigan to California to Republic of Panama. And as a flyer, you fly around a lot without actually living those places. So I've flown to many places in the world as well.
How long were you in the military?
21 years.
Okay, so you had a military career then?
Yes, I did.
What got you to Tennessee?
Well, my wife went to school with a girl that lived in Mount Juliet, actually, and we used to come to visit them. So we were down here and we were looking around, and we lived in Virginia at the time, and we decided we're going to move to Tennessee. It's much better here, and the people are equally as friendly as Virginia, but we like the people here as well. Plus, my dad was from Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, now, if you've been in, did you do something after you retired from military, or?
Well, I flew for Northwest Airlines for 17 years.
Oh, so you piloted those planes that go from here to yon?
Yes, I did. I flew the 727s. The people that know airplanes know that, and the DC-9, the Airbus. I was a crew member on the DC-10. So I flew from Japan to England, Amsterdam, and throughout the country.
Well, you're not doing that now, are you?
No.
You're retired.
I'm retired.
How long you been retired?
I retired in 2006. The airline had a requirement. Well, the FAA has a requirement. You have to retire at a certain age. Now, they have raised it 5 years since I retired.
Yeah. Well, you live in the Mount Well, you have to live in the area that you represent in District 11. Exactly. We need to go to a break in a minute, but tell us the general area that District 11 encompasses.
Well, my area is pretty much behind Providence up to Beckwith Road, and from 40 up to Central Pike, pretty much.
Okay. So that's the area that you represent.
Right.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little about your experiences on the county commission and things of District 11 and whatever else. John Gentry, my guest. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And to 746, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Starting to bunch up now here on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. No surprise there. As traffic increases finally through Mount Juliet on I-40, lots of radar in parts of Wilson County, Smith County this morning, also in Dixon County. 3800 block of Dickerson Pike, that wreck is still there. Oktoberfest at Ober-Gatlinburg, September 24th through October 31st. Food, fun, lots of music. Log on to obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
When you're Middle Tennessee's community bank, you have a greater responsibility than offering just a menu of financial services. At Wilson Bank and Trust, we make it our mission to know our neighbors, meet their needs, and invest in the communities we serve. Whether we are working with our students to build their youth savings or partnering with a local business owner to fulfill their dreams, our goal is always to make our communities even stronger. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of the fabric of Wilson County for more than 30 years and always supporting us in our efforts to serve you, give back, and grow. Member FDIC.
The average person moves 5 times over their lifetime. If it's moving time for you, let A.G. & Johnson help you sell your home quickly and professionally. Call us at 444-0909 to start your marketing plan today with an accurate evaluation of your home. One of our licensed realtors will feature your home on the A.G. & Johnson website, online listing sites, and through the MLS. A.G. & Johnson is your community-trusted real estate and auction company since 1977. Visit us online at agandjohnson.com.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our final segment here on a Friday morning as we get ready for the Labor Day weekend. John Gentry is my guest. Mr. Gentry represents District 11 on the Wilson County Commission. So we found out you were in the Air Force, and then you were a pilot, I believe, 17 years.
17 years.
Flying people. Did you go all over the world or mostly just in this country?
Well, initially I just did in the United States, and then toward the end I flew internationally, Japan, Amsterdam, England.
Well, you're like that. You might not have heard this song, but us old timers remember Hank Snow. I've been everywhere.
Well, I can't say I've been everywhere, but I've been a few places.
Well, I want to turn our attention to the county commission now. You apparently had a good reason to want to be a part of the commission. And you told us in the beginning here, you're in your second term. You got another year, and you will have put 8 years on the county commission.
Correct.
Why did you decide to become a part of that body?
Well, when you work all your life, you're not really involved in politics so much other than voting. And sometimes in the mornings, I will meet a bunch of people down at McDonald's in Mount Juliet just to shoot the bull and et cetera. And a friend of mine said, we need somebody to run in our district. I said, I can't run in this district. I've never been a politician. And he said, no, you'd be perfect. I said, there's nobody perfect, trust me. So I said, I finally decided, okay, I'll get the petition. And I did the petition. I turned it in. I got on the ballot, and no one else did. So I had one friend, he said, I voted for you, you had a landslide. That's how I got elected, okay?
You had no opposition.
No opposition.
I don't remember that. But
and the second time, I had no opposition either.
All right, well, I've got to ask, is there going to be a third time? Or have
There may be, I haven't decided
Okay.
yet, but I think I will have opposition this time. I hope so, because I think competitiveness, is better than just get in there by yourself,
Well, have you had a lot of input from your constituents in District 11? People call you about a lot of different things pertaining to the county and county government.
Well, as you know, District 11 is mainly in the city of Mount Juliet, so many of the issues are city issues. However, they have come to me recently about the ambulance service, and the county is going to build two new stations for fire trucks. And our plan right now is to move the ambulances which in the city to those fire stations. And a lot of people where I live are concerned about that. So they have called me on that.
Well, what's your position on that? It's pretty much an either or thing, I guess. You either do or you don't.
Well, we don't have the stations built yet. They won't be built for another year. And sometimes I think the decision to move them may be a little early before the stations are built to see what else is going on at the time. So my position right now is it hasn't happened yet. So maybe we're crying wolf before we need to. Plus the stations that are being built are going to service a lot of areas that are not being serviced now. So, but the whole issue are the ambulances. So I haven't really made up my mind if I want the ambulance moved or not, but in reality, it's going to be a minute, maybe 2 minutes more to where I live. But there are other servicing areas where the ambulance would be closer. As somebody told me, he said, if you move, you're going to be closer some foot away from others from where you are now. And so I don't know yet. It may be, we may get another ambulance, so the budget time will come up again before this all comes out.
Well, that brings me to something else. Are you pretty, as far as politics and maybe money goes, you're pretty conservative in your thinking?
Normally, I'm very conservative in my thinking, but I think the services we provide to our citizens are the most important. So we need to spend money to provide the services, but we don't need to waste money.
Are there any, other than this ambulance question that's come up, other things that you're very concerned about regarding District 11?
Well, there's a redistricting coming up. And in my district, we have the most voters. So I expect our district to shrink some. Now, redistricting, of course, it really only takes into account the population. So the population of the whole county divided by 25, each district should have between 6,000 and 7,000 people.
Right.
And some districts have as little as 1,700 voters. Mine has almost 6,000 voters. So it's a big discrepancy. And I think redistricting should allow for more people to be represented properly. So we hope, and this meetings are coming up soon to do that.
Well, you bring up something interesting here, because that everybody doesn't vote, and I mean the population includes children who are
Exactly.
and I never had really thought about it like that, and I don't know what you can do about it. The rules that we go by have to do with the entire population,
Correct.
not the number of voters.
Right.
But you're talking about you have more voters.
I have almost the number of voters that each district ought to have in their population. And we have children in our population in my district too.
Yeah.
So I think my population is probably greater than the total number divided by 25.
Well, that has got to be determined and will be. I think they're already working on that.
Right.
As far as what the services that we provide in the county, are you basically pleased with what is offered, and or are there areas where you see a need for improvement?
Well, you can always do better because nobody's going to ever be totally satisfied. But I think generally our WEMA, our Sheriff's Department, they do an excellent job. They really do. They cover the county as well as I think they can right now. Now, if we pump more and more money in them, of course, they're going to cover it better. So as we move along in the commission, we have a committee, the Emergency Management Committee. They're looking at that all the time. The Mayor Hutto's looking at it all the time. So we're always looking to improve services to the county.
Well, one of the other things and a big chunk of our tax dollar goes to education. And we've had the tornado did damage 2 schools. Are they in your district?
They're not in my district, but they're right up the road from my district.
Yeah, right.
And right now, our new superintendent and the new finance director, as well as the school board, have been moving very hastily on that in demolition of the middle school. I can't see the elementary from the road, but I understand it's all done. So I think in the insurance has been settled. So as you know, the school takes a large chunk of the money from the county, which is proper because our main job is to educate our children.
Yeah.
So, and I think Mr. Luttrell has done a great job thus far, and I think he'll continue to do that.
Well, there has in the past, and while you've been there's been some issues of controversy, really, regarding the school budget and how the money was spent, and the county commissioners do have an argument here that we have to appropriate the money, but we can't say how it is spent, and sometimes that gets to be sort of a political football, an issue of controversy. Comment on that.
Well, that's always a controversy. I've had some issues sometimes. For example, Green Hill High School cost in excess of $100 million. And the other high schools are expensive as well, but not that much. So I had some issues with that. I thought it was costing too much. And you're right, as we appropriate the money for the school system, then it's their money to spend. Now, sometimes they'll come in with some changes to the budget. And I'm on the education committee as well, and I do ask questions. And if somebody wants to buy this or buy this, I ask questions. I don't mean I'm against it, I'm just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
But some people misunderstand that. And I'm all for educating our students. I was trained to be a high school teacher. I was going to teach mathematics until I went to the Air Force. So I'm into education. I've taught at a school up in Virginia part-time. I've tutored. I've even substitute taught in our school system. But I'm still want to watch the money, and I think most of the commissioners want to do that, want to watch the money. So we want to make sure we have the best education and get the most out of our money. That's all.
Well, we if we continue to grow, we're going to have to be building another high school.
Exactly.
It looks like before too long, and of course, other elementary and middle schools come along as well. It takes money to do that, and we haven't had to raise taxes a lot. We are very dependent on sales tax and have a lot of income from that, as I understand. But do you foresee a property tax increase anytime in the near future?
Well, this past year, our budget didn't require one. But you can never say never. You know, I don't know. This just depends. So far, we've been doing very well. Our sales tax is up. Our adequate facilities tax is up since people are building like crazy in this area. And we have the Expo Center doing much better. And our Ag Center is doing well with the management we have out there. So right now, I could not say yes or no. We just have to look at the situation when it comes. But right now, we have adequate funds in our general fund.
Well, are you, can we say, or ask it this, are you overall pleased then with where we are, with what we're doing, with how the county's being run, where we are right now?
I think we've done a pretty good job. I really do. I mean, we have money in the general fund. We're providing the services, I think, that we need to provide, and we have to expand it, like you said, with schools. So when the new school comes up, or when the sheriff needs more deputies, or et cetera, we always look at that during budget time. We try not to change the budget during the year, although we can. We'd like to keep it stable throughout the year, so we like to do the job during the budget cycle. And we have pretty good people on the budget committee, and Mayor Hutto and our finance director do a pretty good job.
All right, with that, we will close our conversation this morning. But John Gentry, it's really been nice to have you here, and hope you make the right decision as whether to continue. You've got a few months to decide on that, and but really nice to have you. We appreciate your visit.
Thank you very much, Coleman. I appreciate it.
All right, that is it for Friday. I hope you have a nice weekend, and until next time, I wish you a fantastic day.